Now, this is a video I feel compelled to make due to the severity of these allegations and how absolutely disgusting this situation is. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gone Fishing, credit to him, made yet another video recently exposing Loppy for having even more victims and proving cohesively how he is a child predator. This is already on top of what we had discussed in my previous video, where we covered how Loppy had essentially sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl while he was 21 and allegedly showed his penis on Discord video call to two 17-year-olds when he was 22 years of age. And if you remember in that video, I stated verbatim that I wouldn't be surprised if he had more victims. Well, ever since the first wave of allegations broke out, even more victims have decided to let their stories be known, and I think it's ultimately beneficial to let their stories be known on this channel and platform, so even more people can come to terms with how Loppy is a repeat abuser and a textbook child who shouldn't be forgiven. Now, in Gone Fishing's video, he covers how Loppy, being a grown-ass man, shares nudes of a girl in his Discord server without having verified the age of the girl beforehand. This added on the fact as well that he shared nudes of someone in his Discord server that consists of minors. In the screenshot, the minor, being Kira, who was 17 years of age, expresses how she's extremely stressed out that a big Roblox YouTuber has now leaked her nudes and how many members of his fanbase now have an image of her you-know-what. And she had apparently taken this photo as well because Loppy had pressured her to do so. In another screenshot, she states to Loppy how she went schizo after he shared the image of her boobs, with Loppy stating it won't happen again since he now knows her age. And keep in mind, in this exact conversation in late January 2024, Loppy is seen to have acknowledged the age of Kira being 17, also known as a minor. So with all of that being said, only 40 minutes later, after this conversation, Loppy is seen complaining about how immature he is for his age and how he's almost 22. Keep in mind, Kira was freshly 17, and the age gap between them, according to Gone Fishing, was 4 years and 10 months, literally almost 5. And right under the messages of encouragement from Kira, Loppy states one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. He states, "I'm 22, and I want to stick my you-know-what in a freshly turned 17-year-old. I think there is an issue with that." So he knew Kira was a minor 40 minutes before saying this, and knows that it's wrong to have a sexual attraction towards minors being the age that he is. But he's still seen stating that he wants to have sex with a newly turned 17-year-old nevertheless, despite being almost 5 years older. He knew the age gap was bad and yet continued, and according to testimony from the minor, they exchanged nudes too. Meaning not only in this whole situation did Loppy distribute cheese pizza to his fanbase of this person, but then he also had solicited it from her too, and indecently exposed himself to her. According to Gone Fishing 2, there was a 16-year-old victim of Loppy as well named Ditsy. Now, this 16-year-old had lied, stating that they were 17, but it really doesn't change anything because Loppy was 4 years older than her nevertheless, even if she was a year older. Now, there is proof, obviously cropped, that Loppy sent disgusting nudes to Ditsy, who is 16, on Instagram, as well as him describing her butt in messages, which is extremely disgusting. Keep in mind, all of this only happened a few months ago, which is cut and dry disgusting behavior and ultimately inexcusable behavior as well. Now, I'm going to show a short clip of this talking about the situation, but keep in mind this audio clip is pretty echoey. But anyway, here's a clip of her attesting to Loppy trying to pressure her allegedly to do vile things.
Got in a call with Loppy and I was just like had on my camera like doing stuff in the background, and Loppy said, oh, he didn't know that what I looked like before, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna send you a picture of my face, this is what I look like, and he just started calling me really pretty. That spiraled into him somewhat pressuring me to expressing myself while he had his camera on, basically.
Loppy?
Yes.
Now, Loppy, as discussed in my previous video, oftentimes liked to discuss his sex life with minors quite a lot, and would go into a lot of detail about it. He talked about people struggling to fit him with a 17-year-old when he was 22, but now the 16-year-old minor named Ditsy, who lied to him and stated that she was 17, can also attest that she was another person who Loppy would also have sexual conversations with about their experiences. So here's a clip of her explaining that too.
I have like a screenshot of him on Instagram, like talking about like I'm like okay. He mentioned my basically. At a certain point, like, stopped sexting. He deleted all his dingling videos that he sent to me, and because he was, like, taking a realization, was just like, yo, this is wrong. And then he immediately went back to, like, sexting me right after.
Loppy is seen in these screenshots which I'm showing, talking about things he did with other women to this 16-year-old named Ditzy, while she is also seen going into detail about her experiences too. Loppy goes into very explicit detail about the situation and vice versa too, and let me just be Captain Obvious here and state that these types of conversations should have certainly never been facilitated towards an adult who is 4 years older than them, or at least he believed he was 4 years older. In reality, he was 5. It's extremely disgusting to see how Loppy thought stating any of this was a good thing whatsoever. The minor later states as well how it made her feel uncomfortable to see how comfortable Loppy was discussing this stuff with her. Loppy clearly has no moral compass here. Furthermore, Loppy would also have a conversation with a artist about them drawing lewd or NSFW renditions of his character being quote-unquote caked up. And even worse than that was a self-admitted 14-year-old who was a long-term fan of Loppy's channel, was somehow allowed into Loppy's secret fanboy sex cult server where he would get undressed on camera, and that is how this beautiful picture of his hair came from. Now, the chances that Loppy didn't know how old this minor was that he allowed into his sex server is absolutely fucking minute, because this minor is seen admitting his age months before he is seen making charged femboy comments in Loppy's secret server. That, added with the fact that he and Loppy were apparently friends for ages as well, just seals the deal that Loppy probably knew his age. Loppy is seen calling this kid son while the minor called him daddy, and even if Loppy somehow didn't know the age, it was still his job to ID verify users before they joined this creepy ass sex cult server, for which he didn't, and he should be ultimately criticized for at the bare minimum. Now, the last point to go over in this video is that Loppy had sexually assaulted more people. He would often hit up people on dating apps, and in this specific example, the victim, which Loppy got in contact through via a dating app, attests how when they met up, he apparently begged to touch her and then grabbed her without consent, which made her super uncomfortable and weirded out. And this entire situation is corroborated by screenshots proving how this was indeed probably Loppy, with him seeming to apologize for the coercion and the groping, which is textbook sexual assault. And keep in mind, as you can see in these screenshots, the victim realizes that he had assaulted another girl in the exact same park and area, showing that Loppy has a weird pattern of this behavior. Here is a clip.
Quickly, where he's like, "Can I just touch your b****? Can I please, can I touch him, please? Can you show me them, please? And he would like be like leaning like with his hands together, you know, like please. It's like I was so grossed out by that. He would just be like, the back seat, we can get the back seat, and da-da-da-da. He wanted to like do it with me in the car, I guess. And he would like grab my leg, or my thigh, not my leg, but he would touch my thighs and stuff, and he did end up just kind of touching my boob, even though I was not wanting him to, and it was obviously uncomfortable.
Now, after Gone Fishing's video came out, another user called Awkward Lena came out to also state that she was actually assaulted by Loppy, so you can pause to read her statement if you wish. Now, with this all being said, it's very certain that Loppy will not be coming back to YouTube ever again, or ever be welcomed to this community again. And I'd also like to give credit to Gone Fishing for the video and all the proof that he put together cohesively. And if you are new, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and join my Discord server being discord.gg/Parlo. And I also have to preface the fact that this video is not intended for cyberbullying, hate, or harassment, or anything like that. This is just an informative and educational video going over the entire situation as a whole. But with that being said, thank you for watching, credit to Gone Fishing, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.